This is Michael Behrens. It's July 18th, Sunday morning, 2021, around 10 a.m. And I am in Gonzales, Texas, just across the river from Independence Park at the Come and Take It Monument area. I'm here to look for a dragonfly species that Greg Lasley discovered a population of here back in 2003, I believe. Gosh, now it's 2021. And since then, dragonfly enthusiasts have been coming here to try to get a look at it. It's the blue-faced ringtail, a tiny dragonfly, maybe a little smaller than the much more common eastern ringtail. It's in the clubtail family, the gomphids. And I have tried numerous times to see this bug here. Today I've returned with some tips from Eric Isley, an Austin-based odonate enthusiast and photographer. So I'm going to creep around here and see what I can find in the tall grass. This area is loaded with powdered dancers, kind of a large damselfly, and I read Greg Lasley's notes that the blue-faced ringtail will fly sort of like a powdered dancer, or sort of like a damselfly in general. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on these to see if I can find the blue-faced ringtail. Here's a neat shot of two neat damselflies, large damselflies. An American ruby spot on the left. It has, if it opens its wings, it has bright red patches in the base of its wings that you can see a little bit of hint of the red now. And I believe a smoky ruby spot. I'm not sure if I'm remembering the name right, but that's a neat one that I don't usually see in Austin. So this is fun to see these two species, the smoky ruby spot, which I'm not so used to seeing next to my familiar neighborhood creek American ruby spot. Here's a gomphid, a clubtail, the right family, but this isn't the blue ringtail. I don't know what it is yet. I'll have to look it up when I get home, but look at those beautiful blue eyes. Here's another really cool looking gomphid, different species than the first one I found. Again, I don't know what that is yet. Need to look it up, but again with the blue eyes, and look at the dark tail, that russet-tipped, maybe it's the russet-tipped clubtail. No blue face yet, and this is too big too. Blue-faced ringtail is a smaller bug. Oh, look at that head tilt, cool. Here's a female band-winged dragonlet. The female doesn't have the dark bands on the wings that the males have, which the name comes from. I'm in an area now that I've never been in before where I've been advised the blue-faced ringtail has been seen more commonly, so the search is still on. And could it be? I think I see a little blue on the face. And it's about the right size. Wow, very cool. Looks like a female, I believe, blue-faced ringtail. Here it is in a little better light. Blue-faced ringtail. I almost don't believe it. I've tried so many times to find this little bug here. And finally found one. Now you can see the blue face. Interestingly, this seems to have a blue face, but not the blue eyes. A lot of the other clubtails have bright blue eyes. There was that face flicking up there for a second. Oh, very cool. Here's a species I don't get to see in Austin that often, a great pond hawk. They're like similar to the eastern pond hawk, but a little bigger, abdomen a little slimmer, stockier thorax. And this one has caught a moth and is chewing on it. You know, you think about the way a lot of insects feed, especially flies, you know, that have a proboscis they stick into something and suck out its insides. But dragonflies just have big mandibles, and they just take big bites out of stuff. And that's what this guy is doing here. He's just taking big bites out of this moth. Poor moth. And you see all the spines on the dragonfly's legs. Those spines, they catch their prey with their spiny legs and carry it in the air. Some of them will eat in the air. Some species, this species is what's called generally classified as a percher species, hunting from a perch, and they like to come back and eat from a perch too. Here it is from another angle, slightly better light. You can see a little bit more of the moth. I'm pretty sure from the detail we can see on the moth wing that this moth could be identified as well. A two-fur species shot. Dragonfly and moth prey. Great pond hawk eating a moth. What a fun morning. Here's the male bandwing dragonlet. You remember how light the female was, as is common in a lot of species of dragonfly. The male gets darker or bluer. And a process called pruinosity. And here you can see the big dark bands on the wings that the species is named for. And this particular individual seems to be missing most of its hind left wing. Poor guy. And it does not grow back once if they get too much wing damage to fly, they're in a bad situation. But it looks like this, I've seen dragonflies with far less wing surface area left that were getting along, so I think this one has a good chance of living out its adult life. Here's a neat looking clubtail. Look how striped it is, like a tiger. I don't know, again I'll have to look the species up, but my guess is narrow striped forceps tail, which if I'm right, it might be a new species, or possibly five-striped leaf tail. I think I see 5 light stripes on the thorax, one hiding below the hind wings. I'll see if I can get a better angle on it. Here's a better angle. You can see all the thorax on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be a 5-striped leaf tail. I think either one, narrow striped forceps tail or 5-striped leaf tail, would be a lifer for me. And I could be wrong on both of those. But you can see the mandibles working. It's probably caught something we can't quite see. A little gnat-sized insect or something. It's come back to this perch to chew it up. So here's something pretty cool in a patch of slightly dried up mud, sand, a little sandy space on the truck trail. Found these tracks. And these tracks are really distinctive You see there's like this big three-toed one, like some kind of big dinosaur, and then just two toes, sometimes just these two toes, and then another three-toed, and I believe this is almost a three-toed here, another two-toed. This is 9-banded armadillo tracks, and those three-toed tracks are the hind track, and the two-toed tracks are the front feet. And they have 3 big claws for digging, more than 3 on their front feet, but for some reason their usual walking style only registers the 2 toes on the front feet. So a rather odd looking mammal, an oddly adapted mammal. The armadillo has correspondingly kind of odd tracks too. Pretty cool. Well, I found exactly one blue-faced ringtail, and I'm pretty stoked about it. I don't know if maybe I've tried 10 times to find this little bug here, and found exactly one. Got some video of it, got some pictures. Actually saw the blue face of the blue-faced ringtail, and I'm really satisfied with that. There are a lot of other neat things too. Several other club-tailed species that I need to identify that could be ones I've never seen before, and got to see a painted bunting, hear a painted bunting singing pretty close range. I was unable to get a picture or footage of it, and saw some neat armadillo tracks. So I'm going to consider this trip a huge success, and glad I could share it.